Yo, what's up everybody? My name is Ruben Davis, Future Doc, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about my experience in VCU's pre-matriculation program for med school. All right, now this video is going to be a little bit different because you won't just be hearing from me, you're also going to be hearing from my classmates. I asked them a few questions about their experience and other things, just to give you guys another perspective. And going forward, I'm going to be trying to do a lot more content like that, bringing in a lot of different perspectives about MCAT prep, exam prep, all kinds of things, and M1 content as well. So be on the lookout for that. I'm trying to bring you more than just a single perspective, but as many as I can to help you guys on your journeys, either to med school or in med school, all the above. Whenever I make it out, the residency, etc., etc. Yeah, we going that long. We are. So stay tuned and let's get into it. All right, to start us off, I'm going to talk about the structure of the program. The program was 4 weeks and it was designed to sort of simulate how med school is supposed to be so that you can get a taste of it before you actually start, so you can adjust your studying or adjust different things about yourself, your schedule, so that you can feel a little bit more prepared going into your M1 year. So we started off with the biochem, and with biochem we had, I want to say, 2 biochem exams. And then we had, what else do we have? Oh, then we had physiology, and then we had anatomy. And we had exams for all of those. And that was in the morning. So it's structured similar to how med school is actually structured. So we have classes from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Yes, 4 hours. It was a struggle, to say the least. I learned that I need coffee. I started drinking coffee throughout it. That was, an experience trying to figure out, do I eat? When do I eat? Do I bring snacks, coffee, all that? It was interesting. And then in the afternoon, we had some of our other classes that we have. First of all, we had a lot of workshops. A lot of workshops on studying. God, we had a lot of workshops studying. And we had a lot of workshops on mindfulness. Yes, it was a lot of mindfulness, a lot of meditation and different things. Don't get me wrong, mindfulness is great, but some of those times I'd rather have just left home a little early. But yeah, all in all, that was the structure of the program. Some of the other things we did as well was practice of clinical medicine, PCM, and that was basically the doctoring course, basically teaching you how to do a doctor. We learned how to take blood pressure, do a chest and lung exam, do just, a normal like HPI, take an HPI, history of present illness, family history, social history, all those kinds of things. So now we have a leg up going into med school because we already have some experience doing those things, especially blood pressure. Like some people were like EMTs and stuff, and they worked previously in clinical settings, so they knew how to take a blood pressure, but I didn't know how to take a blood pressure, and several others in the cohort also did take blood pressure. Oh, we also took PPS, which was Physicians Patient Society, I want to say. But that was basically like medical ethics. And that one was I really enjoyed PPS. But overall, that's the structure of it. Now we're gonna get into some clips from my classmates. These clips are from the end of the program. We had like a little closing ceremony. They brought us like tacos and stuff like that, and we were just eating. This is after all of that, after everything's done, after all the exams. I guess let me tell you what exams we had. We had 2 biochemistry exams. We had 2 or 3 physiology exams, and we had 2 physiology exams, but we had a lot of like 3-4 quizzes for physiology. We had 1 anatomy, well, it was technically 2 anatomy exams. There was a written portion and a practical portion. The written portion, as you would think, multiple choice, because I don't know how all other schools do it, but all our exams are multiple choice. You think it's easy, but it's not. And then the practical was basically they went and tagged the cadavers, like different parts of them, and we had to like go one by one. We had 1 minute per station to basically figure out what this body part is. Like, is this a radial artery, radial nerve? That one was fun. That part was fun. I did a lot better on the practical than I did on the written. But, that was just a preparation thing. So let's get into these experiences. And I'm going to chime in every now and again to, you know, kind of touch on some of the things that they were saying. But yeah, let's get into it. All right, so we have the Powerpuff Girls. Or the Cheetah Girls, or Cheetah Sisters. What is it? Got you. All right. How did y'all enjoy pre-matric?
Oh, it was fun.
We had a good time.
It was so fun. Yeah.
Stressful, but good.
Matter of fact, now think about it, all of y'all sat at the same table every day.
No, we rotated tables every day.
No, we were mingled.
I mean, but y'all sat together. Okay. What would you recommend pre-matric?
Yes.
Like,
Everyone.
Absolutely.
Everybody?
Everyone do it. Exactly.
Even if you're not in med school, do it.
it was that life-changing?
It was that fun.
It was that fun?
Yeah.
Okay.
We actually didn't study at all. No. Not at all.
Okay. What's one thing you got from it?
New friends.
Yeah.
Taste of med school.
Are you guys gonna sit together in like real classes in a month?
Probably. Are you gonna sit with us?
Yeah.
Are you gonna go to class?
No, that's not. That is what I learned.
I will do
Actually, I am not going to
I'm not going to class.
Oh, I will try. There we go.
So no classes?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna test it out.
Any messages for any pre-meds or people starting their med school journey?
It gets worse.
I wish that I could say that she was lying, but she's not. And I think that's evidenced by, you know, at least through the lens of the pre-matriculation program, that we were taking exams, and these exams were hard, right? Especially because, so we didn't get, none of these exams count towards our grade. So we didn't, you know, some people put more effort than others. Me, I kind of like, I put effort towards like one or two of them, and, you know, the results showed. But for some others, I didn't really put as much effort, and it was garbage, okay? Garbage. But the crazy part about it was every exam, we're asking the TAs like, so is this exam representative of, you know, actual med school? And they're like, no, these are easy. I'm like, huh, what? These exams are not easy, but relatively to the real exams, and especially they really kind of emphasize that with anatomy. So I'm a little nervous about that, but at the same time, I also know I didn't put that much effort in. And the exams I did put effort into, I did well, but for the ones I didn't, it didn't go so well. So, I mean, it kind of taught me, you know, that was like a good lesson of like, one, you put effort in, you get the results. If you don't, you know, you're not going to get results. But at the same time, it's like, it's feasible, you know, that I can do those things. And just in general, like just with schedule, like even just with this pre-matriculation program, like you see how time consuming med school actually is. Because whether you go to class or not, you still have to study. You still have to do some of your mandatory like group. We have like some mandatory group stuff in the afternoons, and sometimes some classes are mandatory. And it's just very time consuming, and it's hard to really do other things. Like it just takes up all of your time. And that in and of itself is just going to be really difficult, because if you don't study for a day, like you're going to be behind, because the way we're getting the lectures from 8 to 4, we're getting like 3 to 4 lectures a day. You know, you need to be staying on top of that material in order to be successful. So if you miss a day of studying, you went from having 3 or 4 PowerPoints to study to 8 just by missing a day. So it can be pretty intense, pretty, you know, kind of scary, but I think it balances out. But the fact that, you know, you're doing something that you want to do, I think that was like sort of the saving grace, because I was actually excited to learn a lot of this stuff because we're learning it from a clinical perspective, and that was really fun. So if you focus on that, maybe it's not as worse, but in terms of just difficulty, even without even starting the real stuff yet, I can see that, yes, it is worse. All right, let's jump back into it.
Enjoy the 5 years. Yeah.
Oh my. This is supposed to be a motivational channel. Okay, you got it.
Look, we're still here. We're still like, intact. We still will be. Okay,
I think.
once you get in med school, like you'll get out somehow.
Hey yo. Okay.
I'm just saying, like,
There's only it's tough. It's tough.
exactly. You just, if you have to crawl out, that's what you're gonna do.
Okay.
And that's how you get
Okay,
out.
what okay, Ryan? All right. We're basically doing this by table. We got the gang. Yeah. Jebediah. All right, guys, how you feeling? Pre-Matrix over. How's it going?
Good. Exhausted.
Exhausted, right? Yeah, Justin, you was kind of knocked out almost every class. I tried to get footage of both you and Ankit's sleep, but every time I reach for my phone, like you open your eyes, like you had a spidey sense. You do? Please send me those. I will insert them here. Okay. Any positives that you guys got from Pre-Matric? Like, would you recommend it to people? Like, if their school has a Pre-Matric program, recommend like 10 out of 10 or like 8 out of 10? On a scale of what? You said a 16? 15. 15? 15 out of 10 recommend. Megan, are you a little quiet over there? What you got?
I love it. I wish we could keep going.
You wish we could keep going? Really? Oh. Okay, do you guys have any inspirational messages like Tahara?
Find your squad.
Find your squad? Okay.
Don't get COVID. It's not.
Don't get COVID. That is very, very motivational.
Oh, I actually will say something serious. Like Tahara was talking about, you gotta love it. Like it is gonna get harder. Like you gotta, and you notice that when people like go around, like they have something that they love, because it is gonna get a lot harder. So don't go into it for prestige or for lifestyle or anything. Like do it because you love it. That's what I'd say.
Thanks, Jam. Great work.
That's what concept about.
It's just not also like one of the things that really helped too is like making friends and like having fun and be able to laugh when you're stressed out and when you're like, oh my god, I can't do this, and then someone else feels the same way and you kind of bond and laugh about it and keep going.
Thank
It's
you.
also
That's-
great to have like study partners, right? So you're like, hey, I definitely know this, and then you explain it to someone, and they're like, you're wrong. They're like, actually, Y way, Z way, right? Like, I learned so much by like studying.
Awesome. That's so beautiful, guys.
And
Go
that's
ahead.
the great thing about having a squad is that you have different people, and if you're the kind that gets stressed like me, and you get someone that's like, chill, does other things, goes outside, so you balance out.
You don't go outside, Hari? You don't? All right, let me interject here one more time because I really love this point about friends, okay? Friends, ones you can depend on. I feel like throughout this program, I was able to get really close with my table because we pretty much did everything together. We ate lunch together. We, sat at the same table every day, all those kinds of things. But then also just the whole group in general, like, I was able to get, pretty close to everybody else as well. And everybody's super cool, super down to heart, down to earth. And nobody is super just like know-it-all irritating. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, everybody has their, quirky personalities. You have some of those, but like overall, like everybody's just really chilled. Everybody's just excited to be in med school just like you are. And everybody's trying to, accomplish the same goal. So I just really thought that was really cool. And that was really nice going into our M1 year where we have 18 of us who we can sort of lean on and rely on as things get tough. But more specifically, my table, my other 3 amigos, which y'all see coming up, we're really transparent with each other about how we did on exams and just our studying. We studied together once, and just different things that we were doing, sharing resources and stuff like that. I think that's just so important to have a group that you can kind of be vulnerable with about how you're doing so that, you feel connected and you don't feel like you're alone. So like when, somebody's not doing well just like you, you feel good, but at the same time, like, okay, now we need to grind it out. Or if, you know, one of y'all setting the curve, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, you know, you have something to reach out for. Like, okay, what are you doing? How can I do what you're doing to set the curve like you did? So I think that's just really awesome to have. And it was also nice that there are also other Black students as well. And you'll see, we kind of talk more later on. But friends, super important. Make sure you have a support system of other students. Also the support system of the faculty, like getting to know the faculty, like know my name now because I was in this program. I thought that was really awesome. So yeah, that was another great benefit of this program.
Here's a question. You got one more thing? Go ahead, Jim.
It's also, if like you're someone who feels like maybe you're behind in your science class or anything, that's okay. Like med school is really an endurance test. Like our grad school is, like from what I've heard and everything. Like if you feel like you're not like a genius or anything, that's okay. Like just grind it out.
Jeb, what's the messages out here, right? Drop in the gems.
My boy Jeb coming through with the sage advice. All right, just grind it out. And I think that really applies to your pre-med years, trying to get into med school, or even, you know, after you graduate. Let's say you're trying to apply 2 times after you graduate or whatever, to when you're actually in school, in med school. Like it's really just a consistent grind. And it gets really tough sometimes, but you got to know, and what I've learned, especially doing this program, like hearing other people's journeys who have made it, that everybody's journey is different. Everybody faces their challenges. Everybody struggles. But it's all about the people who succeed are the people who stay consistent, the people that grind it out. And the grind don't stop when you make it to med school. The grind really just begins, as we're seeing, like with all these exams and stuff through this program. So it's a grind before, it's a grind during, it's a grind after. Like, you know, this life isn't for the faint of heart. You know, Jeb also was saying like how you really got to love this stuff. Like you really do, because if you don't love it or you don't have that passion for it, you're going to burn out fast, really, really fast. And you just won't be happy because it is such a grind. It really takes so much sacrifice. It takes so much from you. So really, you know, that might be something to consider, of just like sitting and reflecting, like, am I doing this for my family? Am I doing this for the prestige, the accolades, the money? Or am I doing it for me? Am I doing it because this is something that I really want to do? So I would, you know, sit with that and really, really take it to heart, because this is no easy feat.
I got a question for you guys. How was it working with the Cadaver? Was it your first time? If it's your first time, raise your hand working with the Cadaver. So almost everybody, pretty much everybody. Like, how was that?
It was awesome. I was like, I wasn't sure what I'd think about it, but it was really cool, and you know, it wasn't as off-putting as you might think it might be. Like once you started working with it, you were just learning, and you weren't thinking about it in like, oh my God, you might have before you were actually doing it. Like you just kind of forget about it and are just like working with what you need to learn. I thought it was interesting though, like some people had a little area of the body that was a little, like, I think Hari didn't like it when we were cutting into the back of the neck. Like
Yeah.
that was like, and I think Ryan had a little trouble when we were doing the hand.
Yeah.
And so like I was thinking if we ever did the face, that would be really hard for me. And so I think there's like pieces that are going to be difficult, but maybe not the whole thing.
Jen, go ahead, give your superlative.
Cleanest cadaver dissection.
Yeah, come on, rep that. Go ahead, give them a little, yeah, let them know. Yes, sir. Any more comments on the Cadaver?
Detach all emotion.
Yes, it is hard. We had to put a paper towel over ours because we could kind of see through the covering. It just, yeah. And ours was juicy too, so yeah, it was a little juicy.
One thing about the Cadaver tabs that's great is that it connects dots that you never thought that were there. Like you start seeing, oh, that's where the biceps are. When you were doing the curls in the gym, you know, you start doing some connections, and it's like, okay.
What curls are you doing?
Any other last words, guys?
Good luck.
Good luck. You'll crush it.
All right, so this is my table, the best table. Yeah. All right. So how was your experience, guys, with pre-matric?
I liked it a lot. It's really nice making friends. Making up early, not my forte, but you know, I was there every day.
I would definitely recommend it. I think you get to meet a whole bunch of great people. You get to figure out how you're going to study, how you're going to kind of incorporate it into what you're doing right now, what you're doing right now, and when you have to start some classes.
Yeah, I would recommend it as well. I think it's definitely going to help me like ease into medical school because I haven't studied in a while.
Did you study this time?
But yeah, no, it's definitely great. It definitely helps you ease into like the transition of having to essentially like enter like something very rigorous. So yeah, I recommend it.
I would say the same thing. I really enjoyed. Well, we all kind of like found our little groups. We were a nice group as a whole, but having our tables like to kind of like connect with and be like, did you read that article today? Did you study for this? And then you kind of like,
was no.
Generally, and so it's like struggling together really forms strong bonds, and I really appreciated that. I love working with these knuckleheads. So how did you guys feel about the Cadaver? Like, was it our first time? It was my first time.
No.
It was not my first
Not
time.
my first
Oh, excuse me. Like, was it your first time?
First time dissecting, but not my first time in a cadaver lab.
Okay. How did you feel like about it? Like especially with the anatomy part and then like moving to the cadaver.
I thought it was cool. That was really interesting. Definitely unsettling at times. Just like you're physically like cutting into somebody and like peeling back their flesh. And it really reminds you of
but that's true.
Like your mortality because somebody's just laying there like on a slab of metal. Like dead, and you're cutting into it. So yeah, but it was awesome. It's really cool.
I do think it reminds you of your mortality. Like one small thing could go wrong, and you're like, and that's it. Because I feel like we kind of feel invincible.
Honestly, like one of the things that I did before going into labs was I would remind myself that this is a body, like this was somebody, somebody had a life, and now they're teaching us, beyond. So.
Yeah, one thing he said, the best way to respect the body is to do a good dissection. So keep that in mind as y'all are going there.
But I can't wait to use a bone saw.
Yes. So I guess this question comes from all Black students here. Any advice, or I guess like, what did you get out of pre-matriculation as a Black student? Like, did you feel like it helped you at all? Did you have any concerns coming in as a Black student? And did pre-matric help you with any of those concerns?
I can start. So kind of like as a Black student, I don't know, maybe, but like imposter syndrome, you really feel like, am I supposed to be here? Especially if you're doing that whole like application process and you're like hearing these no's or you're hearing the maybes, it's just like, how did I get into medical school, right? Pretty much, how did I get a yes? So just kind of being in here, going through this program, kind of like seeing that I can do it, it's been really just amazing, honestly.
I definitely agree with that. Everyone comes with their own struggles, and you can do really poorly in one section and then see your strengths in another. So it really does help with imposter syndrome. If you're like, hey, I might not be the best academically, but I am one of the most experienced people here clinically in this program. So you're like, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, so don't feel like because you're not, Mr. 4.0, you don't have anything to bring, because everyone does.
Come on. Alexis, bring us home.
Anyway, so between the four of us, I'm the only one that attended a historically Black college. So, attending this institution, well, when I was looking at medical schools, finding community was really important for me. Diversity was really important to me. And so I do think that here, at BCU, there's definitely community, amongst Black students, and we do have a lot of support and resources. So I think that I made a good decision in coming here. And you will find your community, whether that's you're Black or Latino, Latinx, or the LGBT. Cut that out. I'm gonna cut that out. What I'm trying to say is that you will find your community no matter who you are, who you self-identify as or with. So yeah, that's all I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah. To that note, everybody so far from the faculty, administration staff have all been like super nice, down to earth, and supportive people. And so that's really great for me, like from that Black student perspective, of feeling like I actually have that support. I haven't felt any sort of discrimination so far, like being here, or any like things that have made me say, like, well, not about race anyway. But everybody know if I say metabolic, I know the first thing that comes to inside joke. But that's another benefit of pre-matric. Like, we all have like inside jokes now. Like, so when we come into school, like we have this community as Black students, as a really diverse group of students here, and it was great. Any last inspirational words for the folks, for the people?
Before the last inspirational words, I just want to add on that I like that this school is very proactive in helping you, because I feel like by the time you fail, it's too late. They're like, hey, by the way, you got a 10% on this exam. Now we can help you. Like, I don't need help. I mean, you do need help then, but like, it's too late. I already failed 3 things, and now you're about to repeat a year. Like, now's not the time for you to tutor me. Get it ahead of time. And our TAs were great. So that's awesome.
Shout out to Punk. Shout out to Christine. Shout out to my boy Faison. All right, move your breasts laterally. Another inside joke. But any more inspiration?
I would say don't give up, because no matter how long it takes you, what you have to go through, how much money you spend, because realistically, it's a lot. Everything is a lot. But just, debt is the American way, right? So don't give up, keep doing it. Everyone has their own journey. Everyone's here. Everyone's not all 22 and 4.0s. Like, everyone is different and has different experiences. So do that.
Yeah. Piggyback off that, I would say forgive yourself too, because when you're not giving up, you're more than likely going to fail at some point. Forgive yourself, whether that's like following a strict exercise schedule, forgetting to call your parents. Just anything. Forgive yourself. Realize that this is a stressful time. You are going to forget stuff. And just do the best that you can do.
All right. This was a longer one, but thank you for sticking around. All right. To kind of wrap this up, do I recommend it? Obviously, yes. I recommend doing a pre-matriculation program if you can, just for the fact that you'll be able to make friends, establish a network and a support system. You'll be able to get into these exams. You'll be able to get some exam experience. I feel like that's a really big deal, because these exams are built different. They're just built different than any exam you've taken in your life. I did undergrad, I have a master's, and I'm telling you, these exams just hit different. So yeah, you just want to be prepared. It just helps you feel a lot more prepared, a lot more ready to take on med school, and it really just kind of primed me. Like, I'm super excited. I'm ready. I'm ready, super ready for med school. So absolutely 1000% recommend that if your school has a pre-matriculation program, or you're able to do some sort of pre-matriculation program, I 1000% recommend it. With that said, thank you for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, all those things. If you got any video ideas or any questions, I'm more than happy to answer them. People have already been DMing me, and I try to get back to you guys as quickly as I can with, as much helpful information as I can give you. So please continue doing that. I really enjoy supporting and helping you guys. And I look forward to doing more and more content just like this for you. If you like this type of style where I'm getting different perspectives and things like that, comment that down below. Comment some questions you want me to ask the rest of my cohort, and some other content that you'd like to see in the future. All right, Future Doc out.